Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to another third channel Scoot and Talk video. Today I'm going to be riding a Lime scooter here in Seattle, Washington, and I'm going to be I'm going to level with you. I'm going to be having a lot of rambly thoughts that don't really tie together because Seattle makes me feel a lot of things that I want to share because they're interesting. Because first of all, it's fun to be able to ride a rentable scooter. I'm so used to living in New York and London and thinking like, yep, this is you're just not allowed to do it because, as we all know, scooters are literally worse than anything else. Like, they go on the roads and they can hit pedestrians and kill them, and they go like up to 70 miles per hour. But even though they're only meant to go up to 70 miles per hour, which is already enough to kill someone, then you can drive at like 200, and it's, oh sorry, I'm describing cars again. I mean, scooters are these things that go at 15 miles per hour, and if they hit a pedestrian, it sometimes really hurts. And if the pedestrian's really old and the scooter hits them in the right way, it could actually kill them, which, as we all know, is what is really killing people these days. And as much as I love to talk about scooters and the perceptions of risk that we have from them, and how we, I guess, categorize that risk in questionable ways sometimes, I would love to do that. I don't know if I'm allowed on this street, by the way. I'm worried that it's leading me, it feels a lot like a busy highway or something, and I don't know that's good. Oh, okay, it's a very steep downhill that I did not realize, and it's bumpy. And I'm riding a scooter I'm not familiar with that's crazy light. This is a brand new, again, oh. I'm riding a scooter in a brand new city, and the brand new city happens to have a ton of potholes, and a ton of, not only a ton of potholes, but like a ton of these like divides and gaps, and the scooter bumps non-stop. It feels like it's trying to kill me. And when you go downhill, the brakes work questionably. It's like crazy light, which is great, but the weight's all in the top, so the bottom bounces up. I don't like this scooter. You know what, Lime, good job on most of your scooters. I like renting them. I'll pay your silly 36 cents a minute to sit in traffic and wait at a red light. Oh, look at that, green today. No reds for me, friends. This particular scooter, not a huge fan. It's very sad. It's very sad. So I guess I'm gonna make a right turn here. Am I? Or am I gonna go forwards? You know, I'll go forwards. You know, follow the Florida car. What can go wrong with that? But yeah, I have a lot of unconnected thoughts today, and I want to share them with you because Seattle is a city I had an impression of in my mind, and now I'm here. It's very interesting. So it's the big tech city. I think it goes without saying. But if you don't know, like, tech in the United States is really, tech in the world is concentrated in like two cities. One is like San Francisco, or really it's the corridor between San Francisco and San Jose. More conservative tech companies are in San Jose. There are certain tech companies are in San Francisco, like Uber and Twitter, I want to say, for some reason is still in San Francisco. But oh my God, that was no good. But most of the tech companies that you know of are in places like Mountain View. You know, I'm going to take a right turn. I don't like this street. There's a lot of cars. The more cars on the street, the less I like it. Because again, they are big old death machines that just want to chew you up and spit you out. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, this is good. This be going very well. Oh, see, what? I've never, like, you know, I don't like how drivers go to cities and just complain non-stop. But this is the one city that, like, I just feel like, yep, are these roads at this point? Are these roads at this point? You know, so this city is really interesting because it's got a lot of concentration of big tech. And so probably a bunch more, but like, so a lot of companies are from here. You might know about Starbucks is a big multinational run by a guy called Howard something, or something Howard. He could be called Howard, to be fair. But it also has, you know, both the wealthiest man in the world, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff Bezos, something like 200 billion net worth, and one of the wealthiest, well, one of the most well-known wealthy men in Bill Gates, who has got a worth somewhere like 80 billion, something like that. Anyway, so it's really interesting. Okay, my free right turn solution is going to work for me right here. And so it's a really interesting city in that, like, you know, in the same way that, like, tech being concentrated. By the way, if I'm mentioning that, like, it's San Francisco doesn't have the tech, it's like the corridor. Technically speaking, the tech is like concentrated in like Redmond and Bellevue. Like, some of it's here in Seattle, but it's like the surrounding cities as well. But whatever, it's the Seattle area, it's the San Francisco area. There's two cities that have a lot of the tech, and that's already interesting. Like, when you're inside those states, knowing, like, I guess what I'm saying here is, like, the concentration of power inside of California to San Francisco for tech kind of makes sense. You know, Silicon Valley, sure. The concentration inside of Washington to Belmont and Redview, I said that correctly. The concentration inside of those cities to, you know, tech, it makes sense within the state. Then within the country, it's kind of weird that, like, again, the tech that runs the the tech that decides, honestly, like, you know, for instance, oh, here's the hot button one, like, should a former president, you know, should they be allowed on social media? That is made inside of these two particular areas, and you know, like there's two very concentrated cities in the whole country that make these big decisions that affect everyone. And then it's even crazier because the world runs on that same thing. If the UK ever had a figure so divisive, you know, like, you know, you know, whether they did or didn't decide to ban them from the platform, right, would be, again, and you know, even stuff like the American rules for what is and isn't okay kind of run the world rules, right? The big slurs, the big three, you can't say on Twitch. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. It doesn't matter if you live in Australia and, like, those, you know, they're not the same. Well, I guess some people there will care because they follow the morality rules of big tech. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, the morality of these two cities decide, you know, not morality even, the rules of these places has to decide how it works internationally, which is crazy when you think about the international concentration. And so something the reverse of that I realize is think about like wealth and power concentration. One of my controversial takes here. Maybe it's a controversial take. Oh, can I just go forwards? I mean, there's nothing to the right here. One of the oh my god, controversial opinions is, if you think about worldwide, 7.5 billion people, and the worldwide economy that's measured so deep into the dozens of trillions, right? Like, and that's like every year. That's like value each year. That's the same as income, not wealth. Global wealth is, oh, I want to say it's hundreds of trillions, but it might just be, it might be quadrillions. I'm not sure. But like, so like out of that, it's not that surprising to me that, you know, one person would end up with 200 billion. Maybe it should be surprising. Maybe you'd like me to be more surprised. I'm gonna go on the pavement here, just in case. Actually, no, I want to go forwards. Damn it, I'm dumb. I need to. But you know, like on a worldwide level, it's not hugely surprising to me that cute little dog. It's not hugely surprising to me that much would end up in the hands of one person. I actually, controversial opinion, even though Bill Gates officially is much less wealthy than Jeff Bezos, like, again, he's measured in the tens of millions, not the hundreds. I think he's wealthier for reasons we can maybe dive into some other time. Oh man, the scooter lifted up, rammed into my back heel. These scooters suck, I hate them. Like, it's the worst, but it's fine. You know, everyone's allowed to hate things, unless you're on Twitch, in which case you make sure you don't hate the things that Twitch hates. You can say the word "abo" all you like if you're Australian, because that's Australian morality. And you don't have to follow Australian morality in Australia anymore. You have to follow the rules from here. So anyway, I think it's not that surprising. Maybe, again, to some people it is. Some people it's not surprising but feels unfair. To some people it's both surprising and feels unfair. But to me it's not like hugely shocking that, like, yeah, I guess over such a, you know, a big planet with so many people all doing very different things, you know, competency, we know about competency and how it leads to, you know, like in the Olympics, no one's surprised that like 80% of the swimming medals, or like 80% of the swimming, you know, can be done by 20% of the population, or like, you know, and then that goes up infinitely. You know, the world's best swimmer is so much better at swimming than his competitors. The world's best Formula 1 driver is like so much better than the ones that are, you know, like something I learned recently, I've been watching a lot of Formula 1, is like, to be in Formula 1, you can't just be anyone. You have to be basically one of the 20 best drivers in the world at the time. Let's give a margin of error, say one of the best 200. But yet the difference between the 20th and the first is insane. And so the same thing is kind of true for wealth. And then once you look below that, once you look at all the lower leagues, there's a lot more like similarity between skill. And so, same thing with wealth. Like, there's so many, you know, something people don't like, I think, it comes up as a political point, is like the number of billionaires is increasing drastically every year. So it went up from like 2,400 in 2018, maybe 2019. I don't know which year we have. Pandemic messes everything up, right? But oh, actually, there's a little bike lane on the right here. I could really do with one of those. Oh wait, I'm just going right again. You know what, whatever. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going. I just know that I am. And that's what matters. But yeah, so you know, there's this interesting thing where people group up in the middle, and then at the top and bottom end, you generally see, you know, the craziest results, right? And so one of the examples of this, what am I doing here? What the heck? Oh, okay. Oh, it's like okay, sure, fine, I understand, I think. So, but when you're in a city, like, there's the reverse of that, right? Like, in the same way that, like, you know, like, in the Washington area, having morality be dictated from one place, having laws be made in one place, it kind of makes sense, concentration of power from, like, small to big to bigger. You know, there's, like, state capitals, and then there's the overall capital, you know, there's the county, there's the seat of government for the county, or the county seat, I think it's called, in a county, and then there's the state capital, and there's the full capital, and then there's, like, you know, the global, you know, summits that people go to, the Singapores, the Genevas, the New York Cities of the world, you know, and so that it makes sense that, like, you know, power concentrates in increasingly dense hands. But, like, so when you okay, the fact that there's 20, you know, the number of billionaires goes up a lot every year, which to me, I think that's a good sign. That's a sign that everyone is getting wealthier, not just 2 people or something. Again, like, because, you know, if there's 3,100 billionaires as opposed to 2,400 last year, I guarantee that means the number of millionaires has gone up some insane amount too. The number of people who are, like, near billionaires has gone up some insane amount. You know, the 800 millionaires. Oh, those poor 800 millionaires not making the billionaire list. Very sad for them. Oh, these lights are just flashing red. Does that mean I just go? I've heard that flashing red means stop sign, right? Am I correct on that, or am I breaking traffic laws right now? Well, let's not think about it, and let's just break traffic laws right now. You know, isn't it crazy I know so many American traffic laws? I don't know how it works in the UK at all. You know, here's an interesting thing. Here's a question for you, internet. I asked my sister, like I mentioned yesterday, within earshot of a friend. So I said to one friend in earshot of another friend, like, hey, can I still drive your car when I visit next? You know, talking like, oh yeah, I want to learn. I find American cars fun. Like, they're all automatic. It's just a go-kart. Like, it's incredible. I love go-karting. So I find American cars fun. And also, I've been trying to learn to drive a tiny bit. Obviously, I've been very limited because the UK has decided that driving lessons are incredibly dangerous. And as we all know, I mean, like, driving lessons are incredibly dangerous. The more people that learn to drive, the more people that drive death machines that kill people, right? That's no shock to anyone. Whoa, what is that? That's just a hole in the ground. How and why does that happen? Oh, can I go forwards? I can go forwards. We're fine. Oh, there's the Space Needle. I need to turn right. Okay, I'll find it right. And I'll take it. So, one of the things that is surprising to people. Anyway, sorry. Wait, we're finishing the anecdote. So I want to drive. Can't drive. Sucks. That's gay. Lame. I said gay. I mean, okay. Wait, it'd be gay if it would be gay if I was trying. If they were stopping people from driving because they assume that same-sex people prefer to walk to each other's houses. Is this even am I going down a wrong way down a one-way street or something? I think I might be. Because am I breaking some serious laws right now? I don't know what's happening. I see a monorail though. But yeah, I have this like no, this is definitely not okay, right? Well, how did I do that? I didn't see a sign. You know, I was just about to flex on my yep, no, I was going the wrong way down a one-way street. I try my best, okay. Anyway, anyway, my point is that we're not gonna back up my misspeaking anymore, because you know what, that's fun and all, but instead, I don't know how any of this works actually. So anyway, I guess I'll just ride on the sidewalk for a few seconds. Anyway, so in front of that, the other person heard me, and then the next day when they were incapable of driving, they're like, oh, you could drive my car, you know, thinking that like what I meant was, you know, I don't have a car in America that I can drive or something like that. And you know what's funny? like people just drive each other's cars. No one ever like checks a friend's driving license, right? It's not a thing that's done. And also, in reality, when was the last time you got your driving license checked by police? Like if you were to drive for a couple of days, right? If you chose to do that, like when would that really go badly for you, right? Like I think that's the interesting thing about so much in life. They kind of like assumed something or other. And so one of the assumptions in life is that we have is like inequality is like some level of bad. How much bad is it? You be the judge for yourself, I guess. But inequality is some amount of bad. But the amount that like hurts, it gets people is always kind of different. And so one of the things that surprises me, again, this is rambling, I told you it would be, is the kind of opposite of concentration of power is when you're in, the fact that so many of the world's wealthiest people are concentrated in America is shocking. There's one African on the list, and he lives in California, probably Texas these days, right? But he lives in America. Our favorite African billionaire, Elon Musk. But it's always interesting to me. Okay, it says one way and then left. Can I go forwards? But it would say left only. Hey, we got this. I am in fact going the correct direction, I think. So there is this interesting thing to me of like, oh, I think I've ended up where I need to be. There's this really interesting thing to me of like, when it's like the concentration of 7 billion people, on Earth, one person having 200 billion, kind of shocking. But when it's 1 million people in a city, and some of those people are at zero, because obviously some people everywhere are at zero. Lots of people are at negative. Zero puts you pretty far ahead of the game when it comes to lots of measurements of wealth. The interesting thing to me is when you're in a city of just a million, it might be like 2 million people by the time you take the larger area. But when you're in this city, right, then's knowing that one of the wealthiest men can afford some of multiple, dozens of the nicest houses, and does have dozens of the nicest houses. He has a house with a trampoline room, which is cool. He has lots of nice things, which are all very cool, in my opinion. Oh look, there's actually police. But the concentration is so shocking and interesting to me. When you go to such a small level, that like something about that it feels, I wouldn't say it feels like so bad that I'm like, yep, I need to remove and fix and break everything, right? But it is like, it does feel different. There is a level of concentration that feels bad to everyone, whether it's power, wealth, whatever. And it's interesting that like as you change your perspective, so too does that perspective of it change. And so again, as this is my first time in Seattle, something about the place does feel different. Like I thought about this forever, and I don't really have a great place to combine these thoughts. Oh man, seeing the gaps and knowing that like, yep, just takes the wheel to decide to get stuck in there and you're dead is kind of scary to me. But so one of the things that I find to be most, what time is it by the way? I think I was meant to meet someone at, I'm meant to meet someone right now. I'm gonna 180, I'm gonna go do that. This is cool, pulling a Yui. Anyway, final thought is the way you see concentration depends on how many people you see, and the more you zoom in and zoom out, the more you can kind of mess with data, I guess. And I wonder, like for instance, like when you're focused on some tiny problem, like I don't know, child poverty, and you're like, oh yeah, all you have to do to solve it is it costs like £1.30 a day, and you can solve child hunger. And £1.30 is a very small number, but also a day is a very small amount of time, and a day is an incredibly small amount of time, in fact. And also, as well as that, one child is a very small number of children. You zoom out to the problem, you're like, oh, yeah, this is a like kind of systemic thing, huh? There's a lot to do to fix this. That can't be done, and that's not even the most effective way to do it, right? It gets bigger and more confusing, and it's not as catchy and sloganable. And so many people, what they'll do, I don't know if this is an okay place to park my scooter. but I'll just work it out. So many people like zoom in and out for their problem, kind of like intentionally, to try and find the place where the solutions match the problem that they're seeing, rather than trying to make the, you know, trying to find the right solution to the problem. Okay, I'm a very bad friend. I'm meeting someone for the first time, and my best impression is I spent 20 minutes talking to my scooter. I messed up, spent another 20 minutes talking to my scooter, didn't even say anything worthwhile, and now I'm done. Oh, and I don't know how to lock my scooter. That's a big problem. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna go meet someone. If it goes badly, I guess you'll never see this video. Sorry, what's up?
Hey, I'll just, I have 2 questions. Do you smoke?
Oh, no, I don't, sorry.
Okay, well, I just moved up from Spokane. I got one more question. Is there a way you can spare some change?
Oh, no, I don't have any on me, sorry.
All right, we'll take this.
Have a nice day, man. But, you know, I think it's like that was a real like NPC moment, by the way. You know what, is it rude to call people NPCs? I guess it kind of is. I mean, everyone in life is an NPC, whether you know it or not. Anyway, I have to go meet someone that I've been incredibly rude to. Zoom in and out for your problems, solve them that way. Find the problems for your solutions, rather than finding solutions to the problems, and you can do a lot in life. Or you can feel like you're doing a lot in life. You won't actually get very much done. Anyway, thank you for watching. Third channel, don't care. Goodbye.